Bean, 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 bean.
Doodling! Welcome to Bean Doodling. I'm your host, Kara Bean, and today we have a drawing challenge from Flint, who is from Austin, Texas. And he gave me not just one challenge, but 4 challenges, really. They're all pigs, so every animal I'm going to draw is a pig today, but they are different kind of humanoid pigs. 1 is a farmer, so a farmer pig. 2 is a knight pig. 3 is a shepherd pig. And 4 is a king pig. And I have to draw all 4 of those and show him how he can draw them. So this wasn't something I could just easily do out of my head. I had to think about it. So what we're going to do is transition to my iPad where I can show you my thought process about how I could solve this challenge. What I would like to say to you is if you want to substitute pig for a different animal, feel free. You can do different costumes too. I never feel like you have to do exactly what I do. I like when you do your own thing. I just like to know that you're drawing along with me, okay? So let's head over to my iPad so that we can watch these pigs come to life.
All right, now I'm drawing some pigs. You can't see my hands because I'm using my iPad, but I'm sketching simple shapes and turning it into a pig form. And to do this, it does help to look at some pictures of pigs. You can Google some pigs and just remind yourself, what does a pig look like and how do I draw it? So starting with those two circles and then adding features helps to get me there. And I think the snout is really a key feature, and those big, almost leaf-shaped ears. But what I need to do for Flint's challenge, as you can see, is draw a pig in a human form. So it's going to be standing upright with arms and legs, ready to become different things. So so I don't want my pig to be too animal or have too much detail. I need to keep it simple. I want it to be human-like and simple. And there's a side view, so you can see how to draw the nose from the side. Okay, so let's move on to making these pigs into the different characters. So the first one I tried to do is a farmer, and as you can see, the orientation of the paper is going the wrong way, but don't worry, I will fix that in a second. But there's the beginning of my farmer pig, and I know that he needs details to become more like a farmer. So overalls seem like a good idea, maybe a hat, some boots, and I think props are also important. So for each of these characters, I started to think of like what would they be holding, what might be around them, some plants, some animals. I think I just went with plants. Yeah, I just did a plant there. And then added a pitchfork. Then I'm moving on to the knight, and at first I'm just trying to get the gesture, and it takes me a few tries. I'm erasing, I'm starting again, like how do I make the knight look like a knight? And I realize props. I'm going to need a shield, I'm going to need armor, I'm going to need a sword, and that is what's going to make this pig turn into a knight. And I looked at a few pictures of knights online, like what does that even look like? And that helped me, and you might need to do that too. So don't expect to go this fast. I definitely drew this a lot slower than you're seeing now. And then next, I was drawing the shepherd pig. So for a shepherd, for the prop, I knew that they carry this kind of bent stick, and then there needs to be sheep. So I drew some sheep and gave him a beard and just a sort of simple outfit. And for me, that says shepherd. He's leading the sheep. That would be what a shepherd would be. And then finally, I am working on the king, and that for me was the easiest one to do. I didn't really have to look at too much to remember how to draw a king. I knew that a king needs a crown, so that's like the top, after I get the body and the form in there, I give the king a crown, maybe a throne, and a fancy robe, and a beard, so it's not the prince, it's the king. And then I spend some time adjusting and trying to get where do I put the hands, and maybe if I add more detail, I'm jewels, what else makes someone feel important or royal? And ornaments seem like a good idea, so I just kept adding more details. And, maybe I didn't need to do that, but it was fun for me, so you could try doing that if you like detail. Okay, so here's my final sketch. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just focus on the torso and the head. I think that's enough to get the information across. I've got my farmer, his overalls, the pitchfork, little background. Jumping over to the knight, he needs to have his sword, armor, shield. That's enough information so you understand. And then I'm adjusting and erasing and sort of focusing on the details and how much, and the proportions and the shapes, and that takes time. Just remember, this is sped up. I probably was very slow. And then I add some shading. Then we're moving on to, I jump back and forth. I jump around back to the farmer and then now onto the shepherd. And so you can see he's got that crazy shepherd pole thing. There's probably a name for that. I don't know. And then the sheep, I've got to have them in the background. And I'm kind of just working on little adjustments to the eyes, giving him hair, kind of adding more sheep, and just kind of seeing what I can do to make it stand out. And then finally, the king. So the king pig I made him hold a scepter, which I didn't do in the last sketch because I figured they're all holding something. That's kind of a theme, and that just naturally happened. So for the torso, I've got to get his robe, his jewels, his crown, and then I can kind of nitpick about the shapes of things and the amount of detail and how much space do I want to get, or how much space does it take up. And I think with the king, I'm fidgeting about the crown. I'm going to fidget a little bit with the costume, like how much detail do I put? And then I jump back and add a few more things to the other shapes. And I think at some point I go back to the king, and I'm just having a hard time with hands. Like, do I include both hands? Should I put a background in? I shrink him down and make him a little bit smaller. That gives me a bit more space. And then I feel like he fits into the rectangle better. And these are just some final adjustments. And that's pretty much what I came up with for Flint's challenge. So there's my final sketch.
Thanks for joining me today, and I just want to say thank you to Flint for that tricky but fun drawing challenge. And just to remind all of us that we don't have to even love our drawings. Let's just sketch and try things and use the eraser and redraw and learn as you go. Just keep in the back of your mind that drawing's just really good for you. It helps you relax. It helps you solve problems. It's just it's a nice thing, a nice active activity that you can do indoors. So keep drawing.